Now guys, I've been in Bali for about 3 months over the last 2 years, and it's one of my favorite travel destinations in the world. I figured it's time for me to create a top 5 Bali video. My name is Christopher Lau, and I'm a full-time travel vlogger from Northern California. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My big focus over the last year was to show the beauty of Southeast Asia. This time I want to show my favorite spots in all of Bali through a top 5 video. So bringing today's video straight out of the Lost Villa, aka Lost LeBlanc, Christian LeBlanc, I figured that this would be the perfect place to create this type of video. I'm bringing you guys my top 5 in Bali, including some traveler's tips towards the end. Let's dive right in. Bringing you guys number 5, Lombok. You can consider Lombok as Bali 10 years ago. There's not as many people as Bali, but there's a whole lot of beauty to see with spectacular marine life. There's beautiful beaches, there's treks you can go on, there's waterfalls, bike trips too, and lots to explore out on Lombok. You can either take a ferry over to Lombok or book a pretty affordable flight right on over to the island next door. We paid about 50 to 60 USD American dollars for a one-way ticket, and it's definitely worth visiting. Lombok is a pretty laid-back island with one volcano called Mount Rajani, where you can book a 3 to 4 day trek as long as you want almost, and you can stay and hike up to the volcano and you can enjoy your time. I've never really hiked up a volcano yet, but I'm sure I'll do that very soon. There's incredible waterfalls also on Lombok, which we checked out. It was very stressful to get to, but it's highly worth it.
Oh my god. Oh, nene? Left, yeah. Left side, right side. I could shoot the drone up and we could watch the waterfall from the drone. Okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try this? Yeah. This is my, okay, you can. This is probably one of the top most insane adventures I've been on. I mean, the first half was beautiful, but this is, this waterfall hopefully is worth it. Oh, crap. Woohoo! Whoa! Woohoo! Oh, should we be sitting? Giddy, yeah. Giddy. We made it. Wow, this is absolutely beautiful. So it actually falls down over there too, and it starts back there. But this is absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy we made it now.
Now, if you guys are visiting Lombok, I would plan it out for a full week as there's so many places to check out in Lombok. And again, it's a much more relaxed atmosphere compared out to Bali, and it's one of my favorite islands that I've ever visited. I would highly recommend Lombok to visit if you're coming out to Bali. Number 4 on the list, Uluwatu. Uluwatu is on the southern part of Bali, and I didn't get a chance to visit it my first trip, but 2 trips after that, including right now, I stayed in Uluwatu, and it was one of my best experiences ever. Uluwatu is known for 5-star resorts, very, very pricey resorts on the edge of the cliff, and there's also some mid-range to upscale type villas out there. We stayed at Fado Prestige Villa out in Uluwatu my last 2 trips in Bali, and I absolutely love my stay in Uluwatu. It's very low-key, it's very, very laid back, it's not as touristy, and it's super, super beautiful. Seeing the cliffside rocks, the cliffside temple. The main temple out in Uluwatu is Uluwatu Temple. Now, the thing about Uluwatu Temple is you need to be aware of the monkeys, because the monkeys will take your cell phone.
Alright, he brought the keys.
Oh,
no. Oh, the monkey, shit.
Look at her, just took her iPhone.
He took her iPhone.
No way. It ran on the roof.
Oh my god.
No way.
It's calling someone. Oh.
I'm putting my phone away.
That's what I was saying. This time we got here and it took someone's phone again.
We've been here for literally 2 seconds. And I just saw a horrible tragedy.
Oh god. Do you want me to put your phone in my pocket?
Yes, please.
Because these monkeys, these are vicious.
Wow.
But
gotta like do this quick before he takes like a drone.
Oh,
He takes my drone and starts flying it.
oh yeah, we'll get that monkey back if that's the case.
It happened my last 2 times heading to Uluwatu where monkeys took someone's cell phone immediately, so be aware of the monkeys. However, Uluwatu Temple is absolutely beautiful. You can catch a beautiful sunset because that's the same side of the island that the sun is setting, and you can also catch the Chatuchak fire dance, which is a traditional fire dance show out here in Bali. Highly recommend it. Number 3 on the list is a place that I just visited recently, Sekumpul Waterfall. Now there's many waterfalls out in Bali, the main one being Tegagunan, which is an extremely touristy type waterfall. There's many tourists out there, but one of my favorites, if not my favorite waterfall out in Bali is Sekumpul Waterfall, which we just visited 4 days back. Now, Sekumpul Waterfall is in the northern part of Bali, which is somewhere that I didn't get a chance to visit till this trip, and it was definitely worth the trek. To get to Sekumpul Waterfall from Canggu, which where we're at right now, took about 2 hours in total. So it's about an hour 45 drive up there and then about a 15 to 20 minute hike to the waterfall. And you're gonna climb down 360 steps, a little trek through a little river, and then you'll make it to one of the most spectacular waterfalls you'll ever see, and I admit probably the best waterfall out in Bali. Sekumpul Waterfall basically has 2 giant waterfalls on one end, and you could actually take a quick 10-minute walk to Fiji Waterfall, which is connected to that area of Sekumpul Waterfall, so you're able to see 4 or 5 waterfalls in one area. Now, Fiji Waterfall consists of 3 waterfalls, and it's absolutely spectacular. Going out there is like Jurassic Park, and it's definitely worth a visit if you're coming out to Bali to check out the northern part of Bali and head over to Sekumpul Waterfall. We absolutely loved it. Number 2 on the list for me is Ubud. In my opinion, Ubud is the mecca of culture out in Bali. Ubud is a yogi type atmosphere with a very unique Balinese type culture to it, and there's 3 different art villages to check out. Now, besides the art villages to check out, there's 3 very popular tourist destinations out in Ubud. The first being Monkey Forest, which I would highly recommend to check out and experience yourself. The thing about the monkeys, they're a lot friendlier than Uluwatu. The reason being is because they're fed constantly, and even when you guys are going to Ubud Monkey Forest, you're insured by Ubud Monkey Forest. So once you purchase a ticket to Ubud Monkey Forest, insurance is also included in the ticket, and it's quite the experience to check out. Besides being fed very well in Ubud Monkey Forest, all the monkeys out there are vaccinated, so you don't need to worry about rabies. Now, if they're not vaccinated, or if there's a monkey missed, what they do to some of the bananas once or twice a month is put the vaccination in the bananas and give it over to all the monkeys to eat. So if you guys are bitten, if you guys are scratched, not to worry. All the monkeys in Ubud Forest are vaccinated, and there's even a medical place in Ubud Monkey Forest just in case. Now, besides the Monkey Forest out in Ubud, there's 2 other spots to check out. It's Tegagalan Rice Field and the Tegunan Waterfall. Tegagalan Rice Field is one of the most popular Instagram spots and popular spots out in Ubud. It's absolutely beautiful. There's stacks and stacks of rice fields. There's stacks and stacks of green, not money, and it's super, super picturesque. Highly recommend to check out the rice field and potentially head to the northern part of the rice fields, which we actually checked out this time. It's called the Natural Rice Field. I think that's what it's named, and there aren't as many tourists in the northern part of Tegagalan Rice Fields. And don't forget to include Tegunan Waterfall, which is the most popular waterfall out in Bali. However, you're going to be running into a lot of tourists. Now, number 1 on my list is my favorite place in all of Bali. It's not in Bali technically, it's a short ride similar to Lombok, but it's my number 1. It is Nusa Penida. Now, I've been to Nusa Penida for 3 separate occasions. The very first time I didn't go with a tour company. However, my last 2 times I was part of a tour company, which is definitely worth the visit. Now, Nusa Penida has some of the most beautiful viewpoints in all of Indonesia. There's 2 main viewpoints. There's Klingking and there's Diamond Beach, which I checked out this time, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's a little trek down to Diamond Beach, which you can go down some steps. It's a little bit more difficult at one certain point, but once you get down to the beach, it's one of the most beautiful beaches that Rachel and I have ever explored. She said it was her favorite beach. It definitely is at my top of my list. However, the waves are pretty vicious out there, so if you guys can swim, definitely check it out and definitely explore and trek down to Diamond Beach, or maybe even trek down to Klingking, which I haven't done yet. And the cool part about Klingking Beach is mantas are swimming down there. So if you make it down to the bottom, or you can even take snorkel trips out there, you can swim with the mantas, which is a very, very unique experience, and it's absolutely beautiful. And besides the 2 main viewpoints, you gotta check out Angel's Billabong, which is a natural infinity pool out in Nusa Penida. You can only go into the infinity pool, or they recommend during low tide, not during high tide. Otherwise, it'll suck you out into the ocean. And the other 2 spots is Crystal Bay and Broken Beach, which is absolutely beautiful. Broken Beach is this giant crater, this giant hole in the ground, and it's absolutely beautiful. You can see the water, you can see people snorkeling through it, and it's definitely a spot to check out. Now, Nusa Penida's roads are very undeveloped, as it's a very mountainous area. The first time I did a motorbike down there, it was pretty rough. Luckily, the last 2 times I was in an AC van, so you might want to take a tour company, or you might want to take a van when you're out in Nusa Penida. And the accommodations range between budget and medium scale, which I haven't stayed the night on Nusa Penida yet, but I would love to one day to catch a beautiful sunset. I've seen a lot of sunset photos on Nusa Penida, and again, it's an island I would highly recommend to check out if you're coming out to Bali. Nusa Penida is absolutely beautiful. Now, here's some traveler's tips if you guys are coming out to Bali, especially if it's your first time. The first traveler tip is don't buy a SIM card at the airport. You're gonna be finding so many SIM card spots, so many people trying to have you jump in a taxi. Do not buy a SIM card from the airport. because it's more than double, potentially triple the price when you can buy it outside. I specifically asked how much was a SIM card when I got to the airport this time. I think they said it was a 200,000 Indonesian rupees, but the exact same SIM card I purchased about an hour later at a shop outside was 60,000 Indonesian rupees. And again, it's not a lot of money, but it's the point that they're trying to rip you off. So do not buy a SIM card at the airport, definitely buy it on the outside. Another traveler's tip where not to stay out in Bali is Kuta and Seminyak. Now Kuta and Seminyak is very, very close to the airport, but it's super, super touristy. It's not really Bali-esque. There's many different shops, there's many different massage places, there's many different restaurants, there's some nightclubs if you're into that, but it's not a place that I would recommend you to stay at if your guys are coming out to Bali and you want that Bali experience. I just had an old high school friend come out to Bali. She hit me up on Facebook chat. It was her first time out to Bali with her husband, I think, and they stayed in Seminyak, and she told me it was not worth it. If you guys are coming out to Bali, some of the places I would recommend to stay at is Uluwatu, which is the southern part of Bali, Ubud, which is that cultural experience. It's very nature-esque. It's right in the center of Bali, or a little bit north of Denpasar, or Kuta, let's say, Seminyak. Canggu, which I'm at right now. This is where Christian has his place. It's absolutely beautiful out in Canggu. There's a few main beaches like Brawa Beach or Echo Beach. It's a surfer's paradise out here in Canggu, and there's a ton of acai bowl places, which I absolutely love. So if you guys are into your smoothie bowls and acai bowls, come out to Canggu. They're the best. Also, if you guys are coming out to Bali, do not travel between December and March. That's when it's monsoon season. A few of the days that Cody and I had out here trying to catch morning sunrise missions, it did not work out. So if you guys are coming to Bali, don't travel between December and March. That's when it's monsoon season. And my last traveler's tip, if you guys are coming out to Bali, is for American citizens. So they just changed it, I think, recently, but I didn't need to purchase a visa during this trip. So if you guys are looking to stay in Bali for at least 30 days or less, as an American citizen, you don't need a visa. But if you guys are looking to stay a little bit longer, you're gonna have to extend your stay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my top 5 Bali video. I've traveled to Bali on 3 separate occasions, and I've been in Bali for almost 3 full months over the last 2 years, so I've seen a lot out here in Bali. However, there's a lot more to explore. And again, I hope you guys really enjoyed my top 5 Bali video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, comment down below if you guys have any questions on Bali, on Southeast Asia. I've been in Southeast Asia for about 10-11 months straight now, and I absolutely love it out here. And make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys are notified for my next video. I hope this video really helped you guys. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, and I'll catch you guys in my next vlog.